My audio.
Yeah, well, actually, the both of them lashing out at each other, and Trump obviously a little bit more publicly and comprehensively than Zelensky. And it's really unfortunate that
Okay, so we got everything we got here.
both want the same thing, and that is an enduring peace agreement that protects the independence and sovereignty of Ukraine going forward. And let's face it, this was not going to be accomplished under the previous administration. Putin wasn't about to talk to Biden under any circumstances and refused any overtures about a peace agreement. Putin is at the negotiating table with his team now and had that phone call with the president on Wednesday. The president wasn't sure that Putin would accept some kind of negotiations that could lead to a peace agreement because he's been obstinate about opposing it in the past. But he said yes. And I think the meeting that took place in Saudi Arabia that we all witnessed was to see that that actually had some strength to it, that it just wasn't propaganda. And the evidence, from our team that was there, it looks like they are willing to do some serious negotiations. I think Zelensky overreacted to the fact that he wasn't at that meeting. And he really didn't need to be at that meeting. That was feeling the temperature, so to speak. Is Putin really bluffing to make things look good on a world stage, or is he from play for real? Because
see, that pretty much completes the helmet of our suit.
These negotiations to his favor and manipulates others, etc. So it turns out that it has some substance. But I think that frustrated the president. But the other underlying thing here that hasn't received that much public notice is that the Trump administration presented to Zelensky a deal over the minerals, where the United States can get a stake in the $26 trillion of minerals that are in Ukraine, confirmed by a geological survey company out of Canada that's quite credible. And as a result of that, that would pay back the investment the United States has made in Ukraine over the last couple of years, the last 3 years, with weapons and humanitarian economic assistance, but also a long-term strategic economic investment in Ukraine, which would have benefit to Ukraine and also to the United States. But Zelensky and his team rejected those terms, not the deal. And I think that really frustrated the president. They are coming up with a counter proposal to do this. I think, given the reality of what we're facing and the fact that both presidents want the same thing, and believe me, both presidents know for a fact that Putin is a thug, he's a killer, he's committed genocide inside of Ukraine, that all the casualties that are out there are a result of an unprovoked attack on Ukraine, and that Putin is a bit of a pathological liar and manipulates negotiations.
I don't remember what I put for this.
Know that. President Trump doesn't talk about it in those terms because I think he believes in personal diplomacy, and he praises President Xi. He praised Kim Jong Un until he knew Kim Jong Un was bluffing, and there was no deal to be had, and he walked out. Remember in Hanoi, Vietnam. Yeah. And the reality is that is why he sings Putin's praises a bit, because he wants to promote positive relationship to see if he can make a deal of substance. I think this debate, this lashing out at each other, is temporary. I don't believe it's long-lasting because our common interests are at stake here, and they will come together and work something out here. And I proposal that Zelensky's team is putting together will go a long way to accomplish that.
Let me ask you this. He says that Zelensky has a 4% approval rating. The numbers that we have seen are closer, are more in the 50% range, north of 50% range. And he's criticizing Zelensky for not holding elections. Now, clearly, this is something that Russia would like to see happen because they would love to get, again, a poll fixer, somebody who, is much more favorable to Russia into that seat. Is he undermining, is the president undermining the election process? And can an election take place in the middle of this war at all?
Well, a couple of things. Yeah, Zelensky's polling as of February this month was 57% favorable. It was 52 in December. I mean, it was in the 90s in 22 when the war started. But obviously, he got very favorable ratings. Look at the Constitution that Ukraine has prohibits elections when you declare martial law because a state of war takes place. And obviously, the incumbent who's trying to run a war, be involved in an election and bringing people together in primaries and other elections, puts the people at risk. There's two other parts of that martial law. If you're 18 to 60 years of age and male, you can't leave the country. And also there are curbing civil liberties, particularly freedom of movement by curfews in the contested area. So the fact that their constitution is driving this, the parliament, bipartisan support for all the extensions they've had to the martial law. So they are acting democratically, in my judgment, in abiding by their constitution, and also the parliament is supporting it, which the people throughout the country. These are democratic actions taking place in the democratic country. I don't believe we should try and push elections on Zelensky during the middle of this war. I think if there is a peace agreement, he and others and the people themselves will demand it would likely take place, assuming the peace agreement has some real legs to it.
Okay. I know that the Institute for the Study of War said that your organization, that you do not believe that any of his broad ambitions have changed. So one of the big questions that we're talking about is next time we meet tonight is whether or not
I forgot about how to do this.
concessions as part of an agreement here.
Isn't it like transform?
No, thank you very much. Great to have you with us today.
Okay. Great talking to you, Bob.
Thank you, sir.
That's about as close as I'll get it right there.
Just seconds ago, we saw Eric Adams come out. No decision has been made by this judge. He has heard both sides. He heard from Emil Gove at the Department of Justice, who is arguing that the Department of Justice has decided to drop
I'll have to do.
the case against Eric Adams, the mayor of New York. The other side arguing that the case should not be dropped. That's the Southern District of New York. Attorney in New York arguing that it should be upheld. Interestingly, Emil Gove used to work at the SDNY, so this is a territory that he knows very well. Now he's at DOJ and feels strongly that prosecutorial discretion allows them to decide to drop this case for a number of reasons that we've outlined. So if we hear anything from that judge, we'll certainly give you that breaking news. And we're also going to be hearing from Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, next.
This is New York. It's different out here. It's entertainment. Our champion clients have been represented. They did what they want. I was a 2 hit shows make this go away, beard boy. And when they need a criminal attorney, I didn't kill my partner. We're the best. We are the heck of a team. No one will see us coming. Do I need to tell HR about this conversation?
Still considering gold, but not sure which company to choose? I made my first purchase with Lear Capital, and my gold investment is up.
Oh, there we go. We got that perfect.
And silver up 23%.
Let me go ahead and just.
Trust and experience. They have over $3 billion in trusted transactions, thousands of 5-star reviews, and the only gold company with a 24-hour risk-free purchase guarantee. So you don't pay unless you're 100% satisfied. Whether you're looking to take possession of your metals or interested in a gold IRA, Lear Capital is the company I trust that you can too. Give them a call today. They'll be glad you did. Call now for your free gold and IRA investor guide. Clear Gold and Silver specialists are standing by to help. Ask how you can get up to $15,000.
Once that can fit my Ender 3. My Ender 3, my Facebook. I don't know if they can or not. So go ahead, just export this.
Worked for about a year. I heard about a relief factor for my wife. I took it
Test.
3 times a day.
Boom.
3 weeks. I looked at her and said, the pain is gone. She said, I'm glad to help. I said, no, you don't understand. It's gone.
Relief Factor is a daily supplement that doesn't just mask pain, it helps eliminate. Call or go online now for our 3-week quick start, just $19.95.
If you're living with diabetes, I'll tell you the same thing I tell my patients. Getting on Dexcom G7 is one of the easiest ways to take better control of your diabetes
Well,
and help protect yourself from the long-term health problems it can cause. This small wearable replaces finger sticks, lowers A1C, and is covered by Medicare.
Not managing your diabetes really affects your health for the future. The older you get, the more complications you're going to see.
I knew I couldn't ignore my diabetes anymore because it was causing my eyesight to go bad.
Before Dexcom G7, doctor's appointments were not something I looked forward to.
For my patients, getting on Dexcom G7 is the biggest eye opener they've ever had.
When I got Dexcom G7, I couldn't believe how easy it was. This small wearable sends my glucose numbers right to my phone or my receiver. With just a glance, I can see if I'm going high, low, or steady. So I can
except
quickly get my glucose under control, better protect myself from complications. My A1C is down to 5.8.
Call now to get started on the most accurate and most recommended CGM brand. You'll also get a free
Say goodbye to that.
next doctor's visit. Dexcom G7 has changed my life for the better. Now I'm a superstar. My A1C is 5.7.
My A1C has never been lower. I go swimming, I ride an exercise bike, and I play
let me see if this will.
I found
I'm gonna call it industry. Ain't nobody been here, so I'm just gonna go